Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about organizing your WordPress site, but instead of thinking of it as a chore, I want you to think of yourself as an architect. You're about to create the perfect blueprint for your digital space, one that guides your visitors exactly where they need to go.
So let me ask you, is your website right now just a confusing maze? Because let's be real, if visitors can't find what they're looking for, they're gone. And that's the core problem we're solving today. A disorganized site doesn't just confuse people, it tanks your engagement and basically tells search engines that your content is a total mess.
The solution? Well, it's all about moving from chaos to clarity. We need to give your content a solid blueprint. And the two most essential tools in your WordPress toolkit for this job are categories and tags. Now, when these tools are used the wrong way, or not at all, it leads straight to content chaos. We're talking cluttered URLs, really poor visibility on search engines, and just a frustrating experience for anyone who stops by your site. But don't you worry, because WordPress gives you the exact tools you need to fix this. So let's dive in and see how categories and tags actually work together to build a beautifully structured website. Okay, let's start with categories. The best way to think of them is as the main rooms of your house. You know, the kitchen, the living room. They're the big, broad sections that give your site its basic structure. So a blog post about iOS app design, for example, would obviously go in the mobile apps room. And here's the golden rule. Every single post has to be in at least one room, no exceptions. And what about tags? Well, if categories are the rooms, tags are like the little labels you put on the furniture inside those rooms. They're specific keywords that link related details together. For instance, you could have a post in your web development room and another one in mobile apps, but they could both be tagged with React Native. See, it connects them. And unlike categories, tags are totally optional. Okay, so we've got our rooms and our furniture labels. Now, let's put them head-to-head in a little showdown just to make sure we're crystal clear on their unique roles in our blueprint. The single biggest difference, the one thing you really need to remember, is structure. Categories are hierarchical. That means you could have a main category, like mobile apps, with subcategories, like iOS apps and Android apps, nested right inside of it. Tags, on the other hand, are completely flat. There's no such thing as a sub-tag. So let's break this down even further. Categories are for that broad, high-level classification. They're hierarchical and they're required for every single post. You'll usually just use one, maybe two. Tags, though, they're for those specific, granular details. They're not hierarchical, they're optional, and you can totally use a bunch of them to connect related ideas all across your site. So, why does all this architectural work really matter? I mean, who cares, right? Well, it's not just for your visitors. Having a well-organized site is absolutely critical for search engines like Google. A clean blueprint gives your SEO a direct boost in 4 major ways. 1. It gives search engine bots a clear map so they can crawl your site efficiently. 2. It makes for a better user experience, which lowers your bounce rate, and that's a huge signal to Google that your site is valuable. 3. It helps optimize your content around specific topics. And 4, it prevents messy duplicate pages that can actually hurt your rankings. All right, we've covered the what and the why. Now it's time for the how. Let's get into the architect's golden rules for building a clean and really effective blueprint for your content. We've got 6 core principles to follow. I want you to think of these as the load-bearing walls of your blueprint. If you can get these 6 things right, your entire structure is going to be solid. Okay, first, define your core structure with about 5 to 10 broad categories. Don't go crazy. Second, be picky with your tags. Stick to maybe 5 to 10 meaningful ones per post. Third, use consistent naming, all lowercase with hyphens. It just makes for clean, SEO-friendly URLs. Fourth, and this is a big one, never give a category and a tag the same name. It just creates confusion. Fifth, take the time to optimize your archive pages. They're valuable real estate. And finally, make it a habit to review your structure every so often to keep things tidy as your site grows. So those are the rules. But what happens if we ignore them? Let's take a look at the common architectural flaws that can really bring the whole structure crashing down. Here are the biggest flaws to avoid. Number 1, over-tagging. Trust me, more is not better. Number 2, having way too many main categories. That's just as confusing. 3, leaving posts as uncategorized. It just screams unprofessional. And finally, creating empty categories or tags. That just creates dead ends for both your users and for search engines. And you know, the best part about all this is how easy it is to manage.
Inside your WordPress dashboard, you just go to Posts, then Categories to manage your rooms, and Posts, then Tags to manage your labels. Seriously, it's that simple. Now, let's zoom out and think bigger for a second. Getting this organization right isn't just about improving your website. This foundational work has benefits that actually extends your entire digital presence. A solid, logical content structure is a portable asset. Once you've perfected this blueprint on your website, you can replicate it on other platforms. This gives your audience a consistent experience, no matter where they find you. Take a mobile app, for example. Your organized structure is absolutely crucial there. Some platforms can actually sync your WordPress categories and tags automatically, which translates your website's blueprint directly into a seamless, intuitive mobile experience for your users. So, if you take away one thing, let it be this. Use categories for structure and tags for detailed labeling. They are not in competition with each other. They work together to make your content organized, easy to navigate, and ultimately way more discoverable. And there you have it. You now have the architect's blueprint for a successful website. Your foundation is solid, your structure is clear. So the only question left is, what are you going to build next?